Some mornings I wake up and think, I really want a purple motorbike. Now, for most people, it would require flashy vinyl and hours of labor to make their bike purple. But for me, I simply have to unwrap mine. Living the dream. You see, a few months ago, I covered up the dark purple paint that my MT-09 got from the Yamaha factory with some gloss white vinyl. It was a challenging job that paid off because I think it looks absolutely brilliant. And besides the tiny area on the corner of the tank and the slightly bigger area on the back of the mudguard that have lost traction, it's still in perfect condition. Even after we recently put the wrap to the test, attempting to destroy it through a number of methods.
Oh, not again.
So if I think it still looks gorgeous and it isn't damaged, then you're probably wondering why I want to unwrap it.
Firstly, I've now been there and done that, and it's time for the next challenge. And secondly, I've always wanted to unwrap a motorcycle, preferably for Christmas morning. But this will have to do until I find someone willing to buy me a motorcycle and wrap it for Christmas.
So with that Christmas morning feeling in the air, the reverse process of wrapping a bike began. I wasn't going to waste any time struggling to get all the hidden areas unwrapped while still bolted to the bike. So all the white bits got separated from the bike in record time thanks to all the practice I've had. And the poor MT was left looking anorexic after being robbed of its clothes. Some pieces were easy to clean, and some had half a farm stuck underneath them. However, now with considerably less farm still attached, I was interested to see how the edges that had been folded around the back of the panels had survived life on a motorcycle. I was pretty sure these edges would get water and mud underneath them and start to peel rather quickly. And although the tail pieces have had it relatively easy and haven't changed a bit, the front mudguard is a testament to how good 3M vinyl really is. Despite being put through hell, its edges haven't budged a bit, and the only noticeable wear was some brake line rub on the mudguard and some marks on the tank from where the seat rubs. The destructive disassembly continued, removing the mudguard extension with a bit of heat and muscle. And then it was time to say goodbye to my beautiful black and white tank. All too easily, the tank grips came off, leaving their adhesive behind, followed by a Yamaha badge or two being pried off. The side panels ended up taking a bit of vinyl with them, giving us another glimpse of the purple paint. And the tank pad itself literally left ripples in the vinyl. The first piece was rather satisfying to unwrap. I was mostly expecting something like this. And although there was a fair bit of that, for the most part it was a pretty fun, destructive job. I figured all I needed was a heat gun to loosen the adhesive slightly and a selection of 3M tapes to reinstall the badges and tank side panels, and obviously some fingers to rip the vinyl off. The edges were the most painful part by a mile, being tough to get up and killing my fingers in the process. but lifting the vinyl off of the actual surface area was easier than I expected. It would take a while to loosen the edges and then be quick to rip the main piece off. The Mudguard kept me busy for a while with its 9 pieces that were needed thanks to its strange shape, and trying to figure out what order I had placed the layers in. But before I knew it, the Mudguard was completely purple once again. This time I didn't bother draining the fuel tank, since it shouldn't have to assume any bizarre angles while unwrapping. But the fuel cap did need to be removed to get out the vinyl that had been inset into the fuel cap hole. My fingers were sick of edges by now, and I was reluctant to use a heat gun near an open fuel tank, which made the fuel cap area even more difficult to get started. These big pieces clung on harder than any of the previous ones, and did make some of those noises that I was dreading, despite the tank being pretty much full. The bigger pieces also tore a lot easier than the smaller ones had, but still, it was satisfying ripping off the layer of fake paint. And soon, there was no white vinyl left, just purple. It's sad that so many days of hard work can be undone in just a few hours. However, it served its job well. Once again, everything got put back into its place on the tank so that you'd never know that it has been wrapped. And as weird and wonderful as the purple is, it just isn't my kind of color. And I'm happy that I got to see what it looks like in white. I know a lot of people think that peeling off a wrap will damage the paint, and after doing this, I can safely say that it definitely won't, if you use good vinyl and the right techniques. And once the bike was pieced back together, I even gave the paint a layer of polish, mostly out of feeling guilty about literally keeping it under wraps for months, and also to bring back its shine after peeling off its giant sticker. But anyway, let me know if you prefer the purple or the white. Hit the like button if you found the unwrapping process satisfying, subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter, and I'll see you on the next ride.